In this episode of Sahaba Role Models, we explore the life of Aishah Bint Abi Bakr, one of the most influential women in Islamic history. In our previous episode, we reflected on Salama, a mother of the believers known for her resilience and wisdom in the face of immense trials. Aisha, another beloved wife of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, complements Salama's story with her unparalleled knowledge, devotion, and leadership. As the daughter of Abu Bakr, Aisha's life was a beacon of understanding the Quran and Sunnah, and she played a pivotal role in preserving and spreading Islamic teachings. Join us as we uncover her inspiring story and the enduring lessons from her legacy.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this deep dive into the life of someone truly extraordinary. Aishah Bint Abi Bakr.
Aishah Bint Abi Bakr.
You might know her as the wife of Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him. But there's so much more to her story.
Oh, absolutely. Her story really challenges, I think, a lot of assumptions that people have about women in history, especially in that time period.
Let's start at the beginning with her early life. So Aisha, she grew up in a family that was really known for their knowledge and their respect.
Yeah, a very prominent family.
But one of the things that I thought was so fascinating is that even after her marriage to Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, she still had this very playful nature.
Yes, and the sources actually mentioned her playing with dolls.
Dolls.
And rather than, disapproving Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, he would kind of engage with that youthful energy.
It's one of those details you read and you think, wow, that really, humanizes him in a way.
It does.
And it shows just, his respect for her as a person, even at that young age.
Absolutely.
Now, there's also this really interesting story about her father falling ill. And even though Aisha was young at the time, she could recall his words perfectly.
Wow.
Even if she didn't fully understand them at the time.
That's incredible. What an amazing memory she must have had.
It's kind of like a glimpse into, her future role as this incredible scholar and this transmitter of hadith.
It is. It's really fascinating how these early details kind of foreshadow the incredible woman she would become. And hadith are those sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, right?
Yes, exactly. And they're so important for us to understand the teachings of Islam,
Absolutely. They provide context and insights that we might not get otherwise.
Now, of course, no deep dive into Aisha's life would be complete without talking about, her relationship with Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Right, a very significant part of her life.
And the sources talk about, this deep love that she had for him, but also, moments of jealousy.
It's important to remember the cultural context of the time when we're considering these emotions, right?
Yeah.
Polygamy was a common practice, and the sources don't shy away from presenting Aisha's feelings. They're just presented as a part of her experience.
Yeah, I thought the analogy of the rope's knot was really interesting.
Oh, yes. Tell me about that.
Where Aisha repeatedly asks Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, about the state of their bond, and he compares it to this secure knot.
It speaks to that human need for reassurance in any relationship, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it also kind of highlights the complexity,
Of course.
of their relationship, especially given the context of the time.
Absolutely. There's also the mention of her jealousy towards Khadija, the Prophet's first wife.
Right. So how did Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, navigate those really complex emotions?
Well, he acknowledged Aisha's feelings, which I think is really important. He validated her emotions.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he also expressed his deep respect for Khadija.
It sounds like he had a remarkable ability to navigate these really sensitive situations.
He did. And he maintained a balance between acknowledging Aisha's feelings while also honoring the memory of his first wife.
Now, the sources also paint this picture of, the simplicity of Aisha's life with Prophet Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Yeah.
They went through periods of poverty and hunger. But even in those moments of hardship, it seems like their spirits were never really diminished.
That's right. They had a contentment and humility that transcended material possessions.
It really speaks to the strength of their faith, doesn't it?
It does. And there's this one story that really stood out to me about Aisha receiving 100,000 dirhams.
A lot of money.
A considerable sum, and she gives it all away.
While fasting.
While fasting. It's such a powerful example of her generosity and selflessness.
It really is. Even in her personal life, she was embodying the values that she would later teach.
Absolutely. Her actions spoke louder than words.
And even amidst this, simple life, their bond really shines through,
It does.
especially during Prophet Muhammad's, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, final illness. Aisha was his primary caregiver.
A testament to their love and her devotion.
And there's this one detail that I found particularly touching. It talks about her softening a toothstick for him because he was too weak to do it himself.
It's a small gesture, but it speaks volumes about their relationship.
Yeah, Aisha was more than just his wife. She was a confidant, a friend, and a witness to some of the most significant events in Islamic history.
That's right. She was even present in his final moments.
So after Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, passed away, what happened to Aisha?
Well, that's when her story takes a really fascinating turn.
It does, because she embarked on this whole new chapter in her life.
Exactly. And it's a chapter that I think will surprise a lot of people.
Oh, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
It's a story of incredible resilience and a commitment to knowledge that's really inspiring.
I can't wait to delve into it with you.
Let's do it.
So after Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, passed away, Aisha, she really dedicated herself to learning.
Yeah, she really did.
She became one of the few of his wives to memorize the entire Quran.
Wow, that's amazing. The entire Quran.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, she even had her own written copy.
Oh, wow.
But beyond that, she amassed this vast knowledge of hadith.
Hadith being?
The sayings and actions of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him.
Right.
Over 2,000 of them are attributed to Aisha.
That's amazing.
That's more than most of his companions.
Yeah, so she was really meticulous about preserving those sayings.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it shows how highly she was regarded, even then.
Yeah.
Abu Musa al-Ash'ari,
Yeah.
a companion of Prophet Muhammad, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, once said, if we companions of the Messenger of God had any difficulty on a matter, we asked Aisha about it.
Wow, so they went to her.
They went to her.
As a source
A
of knowledge.
Of knowledge and authority.
Exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And what I find really inspiring is that she didn't keep all this knowledge to herself.
Oh, no, she didn't.
She actually became a teacher, sharing her wisdom with both men and women.
That's right. And her home was transformed into this hub of learning.
A center
A
for...
center for education.
Wow.
People were coming from all over to learn from her.
So she wasn't just reciting facts from a book.
No, not at all. She had this way of bringing the teachings to life.
There was a quote I read about how captivating her speech was.
Oh, yes.
From Al-Anaf.
Yeah, he described her as having like the most persuasive and beautiful speech he had ever heard.
He compared her to prominent figures like Abu Bakr and Umar.
Wow. And said that her speech was even better.
Even more captivating. It's amazing.
I wonder what it would have been like to be in her classroom.
I know, right? What a privilege that would have been.
To witness that firsthand.
And she was dedicated to teaching everyone. She taught boys, girls, even orphans.
But really breaking down those barriers to education.
Exactly. It shows a real commitment to knowledge and empowering others.
It all ties back to her challenging those assumptions about women in history.
Right. She wasn't just a wife or a scholar.
She was a leader in education, a role model.
A champion of knowledge.
What a legacy.
And it's a legacy that continues to inspire us today.
It does. It really does. It's just so inspiring to think about how her life, can still impact us today.
It really is. And it makes you wonder how different history could have been.
If more women had been given those opportunities.
Yeah, those opportunities to learn, to teach, to lead.
Aisha's legacy is just so multifaceted.
It is.
She was a scholar, a teacher, a leader.
And she had this incredible strength of character, too.
Right. She wasn't afraid to stand up for what she believed in.
Absolutely. And to engage in the political landscape of her time, which,
Which was not easy.
not easy at all. It was a world dominated by men.
It really challenges our assumptions about what women were capable of back then.
I think that's a really important point. It's easy to fall into those stereotypical views of history.
But Aisha's story really breaks those down.
She does. And it reminds us that women have always played a vital role in shaping history, religion, society.
Their contributions might not always be, front and center.
Right. They might not always get the recognition they deserve.
But they're there.
They're there and they're significant.
When you think about everything we've discussed about Aisha's life, what stands out to you as like the most important takeaway?
I think for me, it's that message of empowerment through knowledge.
Uh-huh.
Aisha's life really encourages us to challenge our own assumptions.
Right. To never stop
Yeah.
learning.
To never stop learning and to use that knowledge that we gain to make a positive difference in the world.
It's a powerful call to action.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just acquire knowledge.
Yeah. We have to do something with it.
We have a responsibility to use it for good.
Absolutely. And Aishah's legacy is a testament to that. Education is a tool for positive change.
Both for ourselves and for the world around us.
Exactly.
Well, this has been an amazing deep dive into the life of Aishah Bint Abi Bakr.
It has.
Her story is just one of resilience, intellect, unwavering faith.
A story that deserves to be told and celebrated.
And for anyone listening who wants to learn more about inspiring figures like Aishah,
Oh, definitely check out Sahaba Role Models on YouTube.
it's an amazing resource.
They have so many fascinating stories about these incredible individuals from Islamic history.
Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep diving deep into the stories that shape our world.
That's right.
طلع البدر علينا من ثنيات الوداع وجب الشكر علينا ما دعا لله داع أيها المبعوث فينا جئت بالأمر المطاع جئت شرفت المدينة مرحبا يا خير داع ما شاء الله we did it الحمد لله ما شاء بارك الله فيكم